Salutations, boys and girls and kiddos of all ages. In today's video, we're going to be talking about multiple characters. And I do hope I don't take a long time doing this. But hey, all I can do is try. But nonetheless, I still think you will enjoy it. So I'll just stop wasting time and go ahead behind the camera into giant mode so we can start immediately. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, as you can see, this video is going to be about the Inhumans. Oh, and I kind of forgot one thing. Hold on. Whoop. Okay, I'll explain that in a minute, this situation in a minute. So we'll just put it to the side. But yeah, so Marvel Legends has given us the Inhumans, finally a complete set of them, or at least the first ones, but we'll explain the video or the Inhumans as we normally do at this time. So I'll start like this. Okay, the Inhumans are a group of humans that was or offshoot of humans, as they explained it in the bio, of that was genetically altered by a race of aliens called the Kree. And of course, not to put too fine of a point on it, now the Kree was in battle or at war with another group of aliens called the Skrulls. And I'm trying my best to pronounce these names verbally or or audibly so you can hear me well. But I don't know. So yeah, doesn't kind of roll off the tongue well. Anyway, oh, by the way, for those who are familiar with Skrulls, they're a shape-shifting race of beings. But here's something I didn't know. This is what they say, back in the day, the average male Skrull would look like. But I didn't know there were female Skrulls. And the reason I say that is because one time I read a comic book where a Skrull made a human their mate or something like that, and you know what? Never mind. It doesn't apply here, but yeah, I didn't know there were female Skrulls. Anywho, the whole point of the Kree trying to turn regular Earthlings, human beings, into other humans so they can use them as soldiers in their war against the Skrulls. Now, they did this by planting a gigantic bomb, which they call the Terrigen bomb. And this Terrigen bomb would go off and let off a giant gas or whatever that they call the Terrigen mist. Now, the thing was with the Terrigen mist, it didn't affect all humans. It only affected certain humans, I guess, that had a certain bloodline, which they call the royal bloodline or whatever. So that's how you get, certain characters turning into certain things. And this is where this video starts. Well, it's not where it starts. It's basically where I'm going to start explaining the Inhumans, or the main, I guess I want to call them the first Inhumans, but they really wasn't, because in 1940 in Red Raven Comics #1, the first mention of Inhumans were done, but the first appearance of what we consider or known as the Inhumans came in 1964 in issue 36 of the Fantastic Four. But in this issue, I only believe they only the only common or well popular, the main, whatever you want to call it, Inhuman that was actually in this one issue was Medusa, and I'll show you who that is later. So, however, or here, let me do this. Whoop. This is Marvel Legends' first Medusa action figure that they gave us. And the only reason I'm doing this, and one, because they was easily accessible when I was doing this video. Yeah, anybody that knows me or good followers of the channel know that I actually hate getting or have been forced to collect characters that I already have, especially when I don't have a problem with this character. Now, I'm pretty sure, you know, the newer version is going to be better with upgraded articulation and stuff like that, but that's neither here nor there. Let's just move on. But yeah, I just wanted to show that. But this Medusa was the first Inhuman, popular Inhuman that was featured in the Fantastic Four back in 1964. Okay, let's move on. Whoop. Now, because I don't know exactly when each individual character was debuted or explained, I'm just gonna randomly picking characters that I have already, or just go down the line or whatever. Whoever I grab, that's who I'm gonna talk about, because most of these are, all of these are 2-packs technically, except one, and that's because it's Karnak. And we, the thing is, why I'm talking about Karnak is because I got him secondhand at a comic book convention or something for only $8, which is good to me, because Karnak came out, was released back in like 3 years ago, back in like 2023, something like that. And he came in the Totally Awesome Hulk wave. And if anybody don't know, the Totally Awesome Hulk name is a kid named Amadeus Cho, who has the ability of the Incredible Hulk. But as I was saying, the thing is with this is that I didn't want this Amadeus Cho. And one day I'm going to, you know, talk about all the custom figures I made and anything like that. But the whole point of, and then of course, one, because it was a reused body. That's just a different color from, I think, the MCU Smart Hulk wave. And besides the shorts and the color of him, only thing I didn't like his face, but I like this, you know, I like his hair. So I took his hair off, put it on another. I made it a custom. If you guys want to see it, just let me know in the comments or something, and I'll show you exactly what I did. But I didn't need this, and I didn't need the whole wave. So basically, only person I really needed out of this wave was Karnak, because he was a new character, and I think it was Captain America, I can't remember, who came with the head of this Build-A-Figure. But anyway, Karnak came with, of course, the right arm and fist of the Build-A-Figure, but he also had 2 alternate hands, which basically a right and left hand and fist, which didn't come in the loose figure that I had. Really didn't pay it no attention, but it really wasn't a big deal to me. I mean, I got a million hands and that I can use, and the only difference is that it had like a little band across his hands, if you could see it. But anywho, I didn't. So yeah, it was. Yeah, that's just how I do things around here. I get loose figures, and so I won't have to buy that whole stupid Build-A-Figure wave, which I hope they totally do away with Build-A-Figures. But let's move on. So first appearing in Fantastic Four number issue 45 in 1965, created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, the second son to his mother, Azura, yeah, let's go with that, and his father, Mander. Oh, and the brother, his older brother, Triton. And I was going to just talk about him later because he's going to come up later when I do this. But anyway, their parents sent their brother Triton, or their son Triton, into the Terrigen Mist, which basically turned him into a fish-looking guy. All right. Anyway, but after seeing what happened to their first son, and what he went through during his mutation, the Azura and Mantar basically pleaded with the genetic council of their world and asked them to spare their son Karnak, and didn't, pleaded that they wouldn't send him into the Terrigen Mist to see what happened to him. But so they did for a little while until they did not. Well, the long and short of it, Karnak did end up, and I can't remember exactly when, but Karnak did eventually get exposed to, I don't think it was the Terrigen Mist. I think it was the Terrigen crystals that, and please, if anybody know, or maybe I should just do more research when I do these videos. But yeah, I think it was the Terrigen crystals that gave Karnak his inhuman abilities. But anyway, magical poof. Let's just go ahead and well, would you look at that? He's standing. Let's just go ahead and put him in a cold pose and talk about Karnak. So since I guess I will just go ahead and let's get the monitor out of here. So whoop. Okay, with things pushed to the side, yeah. And he's old, so make sure you heat up your action figures before you pose them, kidults. And he's on, I mean, old tech or articulation, but he does have butterfly joints, and I love that. And although, like I said, what I love about butterfly joints is that they normally can clap your hands, but sometimes it leaves a gap, but that usually doesn't bother me. So if you got butterfly joints and you can't cross your arms or clap your hands together, what's the point? And they do make figures like that. But okay, let's go ahead and I guess I will tell you a little more about Karnak, because he's basically a karate guy. So yeah, his pose was gonna be kind of simple for me, and I'm glad, because we got to move on to other characters. But let's put him on a rotate and give you another finish him out. Okay, as I was saying, Karnak, I mean, although he has abilities and superpowers because of the Terrigen Mist that made him an Inhuman, he's I don't know what more to say. I mean, now the whole large head thing and stuff like that, he also has tattoos on his face, but you don't see it because of the mask. Anyway, most of his powers is pretty much like superhuman level human abilities like reflexes, stamina, speed, strength, and like any other superhero with superpowers and stuff like that, durability. So, although he is like one of the looks pretty simple other characters and stuff like that, he is a formidable foe. All right, let's move on. Whoop, whoop. All right, well, as I said before, since I don't have a specific order that I'm going in, I'm just grabbing them as I go. But it doesn't matter because after, we talked about Karnak, we might as well talk about his brother and his cousin, Triton and Black Bolt. So, and which, once again, hold on. Whoop. We've had Black Bolt before. We actually had several Black Bolts by Marvel Legends. So, yeah. Once again, I'm pretty sure this is the ones in the box are going to be updated from which, but still, I don't see nothing wrong with this one. And I hope I'm able to do a head swap because I like this Black Bolt Screaming Head more than I like that one. So anyway, let's get these guys out of the package. Oop. And I guess show you guys the package real quick for those people that like boxes. I don't know why I'm doing this with one hand, but there you go. All right. And I don't know if you want to read that, but there's that part. Okay. So we've seen the top of the box because I had it on the side, and there's the other side of the box. Okay. So magical poof. These two body a magical poof. Okay. All right. Hold on. Whoop. Well, sorry guys. It appears that I forgot to clear out me some space on the camera here. So please come back in the next video and I will leave a link in it in the bio and description below so you can quickly access it. All right. So sit tight, Your Highness. We just had a few technical difficulties. But as for you guys, if you want to see the review of these two guys, Black Bolt and Triton, click the link in the description tab below and we'll pick up where we left off. See you then. Ta-ta for now.